All right, everybody, welcome back to the shop. This is another machinist tool pick. This is September 1st, 2021. And what I've got here is something a little bit different. I got a couple of these items ended up being eBay purchases, but it turned out that the seller was a local seller. So I had put in best offers on a couple of items and explained that I was willing to come pick them up and there wouldn't be any shipping involved, and I guess he liked that idea because he accepted my offer on these two items, which is what got me in the door. And the first of which is just it's a no-name import gauge pin set, 11 thousandths to 60 thousandths 50-piece set. This is a minus set. It does appear to be complete and doesn't seem like there's anything really wrong with it. I got this for $20. And then this is a set of Brown & Sharp branded 1, 2, 3 blocks. And I got these for $30. And the reason why I got these for $30, because normally these trade for higher, is partly because of the fact that I was able to go and just pick them up. But there is some light surface rust on them. But the interesting thing is they've still got this this anti-corrosive paper on them. So I don't know if these have ever been used. I think these may be new old stock and just were sitting around somewhere. So of course the side that the paper was in contact with is clean as a whistle, and then on the other side there's just a little bit of staining. It's not bad at all. These are actually still in pretty good shape though, so quite happy with that for $30. And then while I was there, I looked at a couple other items he had currently listed that he hadn't sold, and I gave him offers on them, and I'm not sure exactly how he ended up handling it online, but I ended up getting this, again, this is an import set. This is reference only of gauge block, angle blocks, and again, a little bit of staining on them, so they're not exactly perfectly clean. And again, they still got paper on a lot of them to indicate that they may have been brand new old stock just laying around somewhere and moisture got to them. So I got this set for $20, which these were Brown & Sharp. Also for $20, I was able to get this this Indicol. This one is marked Alicia Penman Incorporated. Over 17,000 stocked items, New Britain, Connecticut. So this must have been a tool dealer. But it's an Indicol. I've never seen one in a case this early. I didn't even know that they had made these. I'm sorry, I keep saying Indicol. This is an Indical, C-A-L, not to be confused with an Indicol, C-O-L. The Indicol is the mount that goes on the quill of your Bridgeport and allows you to hold an indicator and sweep outside and inside diameters and whatnot. This is an Indical. This is a doohickey designed for allowing you to mount a dovetail DTI right here so that the contact point on the DTI touches this anvil, and thereby allowing you to transfer measurements taken here, whether they be inside or outside, to an indicator. And some of these sets have a lot of these different attachments. This one only has, oddly enough, it only has 3. It's either that or it's got one short one and one long one, but I think it might be, these might be 2 screwed together. Yeah, these are 2 screwed together. And actually there's a point on there. So you got a point, an extension, a longer extension, and then a point and an extension there. So you can play with the combinations of rods you've got on there to change that overall rough dimension. And then I got this little set of Starrett number S579G telescopic gauge set. This is a 4-piece set. It's looking a little old, but they're not all frozen. They seem to work. And I got that for $15. Could use a little cleaning up, but otherwise it's going to be a good little set for somebody. And then I got these 3 items here for $20. We've got a Aerospace, which is a made in China import indicator, but it looks like it's in great shape, and it's a long travel, 1-inch travel, and it's even got a sharp tip there on it for whatever reason, which somebody might have a need for that. It's mounted on just a piece of bar stock. I'll probably just take it off of that just to make shipping easier. This is a Brown and Sharp protractor head. It's actually in pretty nice shape. Hoping I might have an extra blade that could use this. And last but not least is a Mitutoyo depth dial indicator. So this is a 1-inch travel, and it's in thousandths. It works perfectly fine, and this is the genuine Mitutoyo foot. So this is not something that just got slapped together. It's actually, this is how it was born, probably. All right, this is a really short and sweet one, so I'm gonna throw on just a couple items I picked at a pick actually a few weeks prior to this, but I didn't create just a video for just those items because there was only the couple things, but I did want to show them because a couple of them are kind of neat. So we'll do those right now. So these next 3 items here, I actually got out of the same place in Worcester, Massachusetts, and it ended up, I thought it was going to be a really good machinist tool pick, and it ended up being kind of a bust as far as that goes. But I did get 3 items, one of which was this nice old vintage stool. And a lot of people are paying big money for these because they're just, vintage industrial is becoming, I guess, big with collectors. This one's got some black overspray paint on it, and it was actually missing the back when I first saw it. And I asked how much for it, and they said $15. And then after I bought it, we ended up finding the back, and they threw that in. So I was really happy about that. It's missing a bolt that holds this on. No big deal. And on the bottom here, it's clearly marked with the company. It says Inter-Royal Royal Metal Industrial Seating. Probably is a collectible. Probably is worth more than the $15 I paid for it. But the reality is, I bought it just because I want to use it here in the shop. Like I mentioned, as far as machinist tools go, for the most part, it was a complete bust. Most of the measuring tools, metrology tools, inspection tools, all of that stuff was already gone. Somebody had gotten in there and cleaned out most of the toolboxes of the good stuff. They had another section there, though, which was where they did electronic testing of and repair of stuff that they had been selling. And they made some kind of interesting stuff over the years. Long story short, I spotted this micrometer stand actually over in the area where they were doing PC board repair. So I don't know, I think somebody was repurposing this as a PC board holder of some type. And but I recognized it right away as a micrometer stand, and it's got a broken plastic knob on it, unfortunately. But I was able to get it for $10, and I was pretty happy about that. This particular one, even though it looks kind of like the Mitutoyos I've had, this one actually is badged made in Germany for George Scheer Company, New York. And of course, George Scheer is the company that eventually merged and became Scheer Telohmike. And then over here, it actually says Mauser. So Mauser's the German manufacturer that actually made this. And right here, there's another cool looking Mauser tag. It's actually you gotta hold it this way to read it up. I had it upside down. There you go. So, even with the broken knob, I think it was a good deal for $10. And while I was there in that test area, I saw a lot of vintage test equipment, and a lot of it was big and heavy and old, and I wanted nothing to do with it. But then I spotted one item that I just really, really wanted to get, and we ended up cutting a deal on it. I think we ended up bundling it Well, we agreed on the price initially, but then I said it was subject to me testing it. And let me show you what ended up happening. All right, and so this last item, this vintage piece of test equipment, is a Sprague Telohmike model TO6A capacitor analyzer. This is really a nice piece of vintage equipment. It's in excellent physical condition, and the gentleman wanted $85 for it, and we eventually settled, I think, on $80 for this and the stand that I just showed. And the reason why is because I powered this up, and interestingly enough, it has a regular 120 volt type 3-prong plug on the back. But when I powered it up, the indicator light over here, which only works when these buttons are being depressed, this tube electric eye, not really an electric eye, but this little tube that's supposed to glow green. I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting it to focus, but you can see that it is lit. It's just very dim. So the reason why it was glowing so dimly is because it turns out there's a sticker right on top here explaining that this unit is factory set to operate on 240 volts only. So for whatever reason, it's set for 240 volt operation, even though it has a 120 volt regular plug on it. So it's not getting enough voltage, or at least that's what I'm hoping is what's going on with this. So I'm going to feature this in a separate video, and we'll open it up and figure out whether or not there's a tap on the transformer or some adjustment we can make to change that. Because according to what I did find online, this model, the TO6A S, means that it's a TO6A, and the S means that it was designed for dual voltage, either 115 or 230 volt operation. So there's got to be some way to change that voltage inside there. And then we can, once we get it operating on full voltage, we can test it and see what else may or may not need to be done to this thing. So anyways, look for that in an upcoming episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this tool pick as much as I did. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.